Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Rachel Glendinning in the house. I've got the washing machine in the background just for a pre-warning, but I wanted to come on. I've dropped Oliver at his holiday camp. Let me see who is around, and then I'll share something with you this morning. And I wanted to add, if you have not watched the video from yesterday, I really took a moment to get clear on what I wanted to say and how I wanted to deliver it to you. And it was really with nothing held back. It was very direct in how I wanted to open that conversation. And I can say that for me, like, I feel something really deep and powerful has shifted for me. So I hope if that video that I shared yesterday, and if you haven't seen it, particularly if you're a woman in my space, go and listen, because I'm going to say this, it's really, really important. Even if you don't, as a woman, have in your attention the dirt, the mixed up energy for women of, you know, being objectified, how it's been mixed with control with money. The aim of it is that you find freedom with the power of money, and that you also find freedom in being the beautiful, sensual, elegant, whatever creature you are in this world, without fear. That you don't fear money, because it's got nothing to do with who you are as a woman in terms of you shrinking or being manipulated with, or having deals made, or being threatened with. And the more that you get that out of your system, you release it and you clean it, then more of us as women will have more power with money. Not in a superior way, not in a controlling way, but just in the space that we deserve on this planet, on this earth, with the full access to resource that we desire and deserve. So what I'm hinting at here is the systemic control, mainly from men through the generations, that I want to add my work here in healing, that something can shift. So I'm feeling something shift for me, and it's an invitation. If you missed that video, go watch it. It's on my page, okay? So good morning, good morning, good morning. Now, a very different conversation I want to have, and that is a reminder that you, as a human being, it is normal. It is, let's say normal, because that word normal has been badly used. It is not changing. You will never stop wanting and desiring things. But let me remind you and bring you back to the most useful way to be on this continuum that never will stop until your spirit and your soul leaves your body and leaves the earth. It's human nature to want things, to desire things, and hopefully if you're aligned and connected to your soul, then you're bringing good into the world, and we need more good. So a big part of my work, when I work with clients and I'm working with people that I like, for sure, that I want that they're more and more in their potential to create the things that we need in the world to make it a better place. Now what we tend to do is our mind likes to go into the future of imagining when I've got this good on the beach, life will be good, and when I've got this, when I've got the million in the bank, that's when life is going to be good. And when I've got my dream match, my future wife and my future husband, life will be good. And when I've got that family that I desire, then I'm going to feel good. We project out into the future. And it is a habit, and we're creatures of habits, and we copy and we contain from each other until we don't. But let me remind you, practice bringing, there's nothing wrong with imagination, by the way, but when you live in that space too much and as an automatic response, then we lose the power of being here and creating. And let me tell you that I feel it is a sneaky pattern, because out there is safer. There's less challenge, less mess, less fear. When you come back here, you're in it, in reality. Reality is not always pleasant. Other people's reality, what goes on in the world, it's not always cushy and pleasant. But it is the most powerful place that you can exist. So yes to dreaming, yes to imagination, but ensure that you're not stuck there. Ensure that you're in control of when you're choosing to dream, envision, that you're in control of it, that you are choosing it. It's not just an escape from this moment, this reality where you have got the chance to, day by day, be in the creative power. And so, what tends to happen, and we're no different, we all have this potential, is that there's things that we want. We might call them goals or focus, things that we want. And some of us might put it on a paper, some of us might have it in a notebook, some of us might have it on a whiteboard, some of us might not have it at all because we forgot that we can actually desire things and ask for things and create things. So if that's you, from my heart to your heart, in your heart you have desires, wishes. Might just see you waking up, stoking like a fire. Might need remembering. It might need remembering because you might have taken on desires and wishes that don't even belong to you, they're someone else's. Okay. So then when you feel excited about the things that you want, and let me remind you at this point, sometimes we can think we want things and try them, and then actually we don't really want them after all, and that's okay. Because let me remind you, this is so important. Those of you that like the perfectionist way, and the trying to look good in the way that you will get to know who you are and what you like and what you want is sometimes by discovering what you don't like and what you don't want. And that doesn't come from just a concept, it comes from experiencing life and your emotions. Yeah? How do we discover we don't like things? A food. We taste it. Ugh. Feels disgusting. Same with being around people. Sometimes people can disgust us. Things can not feel like they fit us, yeah? So sometimes, absolutely, we can have an idea, but until we really test it out, this is why I've got good at just allowing myself to test things. That's the washing machine, bear with me. And yes, it's not the intention that we, want to mess people around and necessarily cause chaos. That's not what I'm saying, but give yourself permission to try things, because that's the only way you're going to get clear on what you like and what you want. Yeah? So when you've got your goals and things you're focused on, things that you desire, then every day we're moving towards getting clarity, intention of what we want, and we're moving towards the things that we want. And then there'll come a point, hopefully, sometimes it's a bit slower, sometimes it can happen fast, that we'll get those things that we're desiring, we'll get that thing that we want, and then we'll want the next thing. We'll be on to the next thing. And if you really just take a moment with me to consider this process of life, your own life, it's never ending, it doesn't stop. And be okay with that. Because then when we actually understand that, excuse me, we can begin to check, okay, this is part of life. How am I going to enjoy the process? Rather than our minds being not enjoying the reality because we're not quite at this final destination that our mind likes to take us to. But actually that is a sneaky trick, because that's the easier place to go. Imagining what the goals, the end result will be. The more intense, more challenging place to be is here, making them happen. Yeah? And our mind will tell us that being in the challenge is the more suffering place, but that's not true. The place we suffer is when all we're doing is imagining and wishing and hoping and having the images, but nothing's actually happening. This is way more disturbing for your spirit and your soul, because you are here as a powerful being to create things. And as far as I'm concerned, each of us has a role, a place, a unique something to deliver in the bigger picture. And what a shame if we waste a lot of our time, a lot of our energy only in contemplation and not actually being in reality with your attention, your energy, and enjoying the process. So it's a reminder to enjoy it, because it's not going to end. It's not going to end. It's the human nature to want things. We go and some things we can want for ourselves. I mean, I'm definitely on a mission to make the world a better place, and you might have a goal to make the world a better place, but you can simply just enjoy things for yourself too. I'm absolutely okay with that. But you'll get things and then you'll want more. And many of us are not able to enjoy the process, but I'm just here reminding you, as I'm reminding myself, that it never ends. You're always going to want more. Okay? So on that note, enjoy today, whatever you're doing, or it might even just be a day where you want to pause and rest and enjoy that too, because that is still part of the process. I think particularly in our mind, the creative power and how we should be, particularly in this Western world, is always doing. Being, resting, silence is also part of your process. Enjoy that, allow that too. Okay? So that you don't burn out is a very good idea. So I'm saying good morning to Farid. I'm saying good morning to Madani, if I got that right. I'm saying good morning to Joan Dow. Hello, hello, hello. So I'll hang around just for a minute longer. If any of you have got any questions, pop them in the comment box. If you've got anything you want to ask me, about the creative process of getting things that you want, if you want to drop me a little comment, or if just something you would like a little bit of, direction with, coaching with, just drop it into the comments. Sometimes my comments don't come up on Facebook, so I might be here waiting a while. I'll give it a moment. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Joan Dell. You are afternoon in the Philippines, okay? And let me know, anyone else on this live, let me know, where are you in this big, beautiful world? I'm here, not far from London, which all of you will know. London in the United Kingdom. I am about 20 minutes on a train south west of London out in a much greener suburb. I spent 20 years in London. So from the moment I got my first job at the age of 21, probably, and I left when I was 41. So 2 decades exactly I lived in London, and I loved it. I know that city like the back of my hand if anyone wants a tour guide ever of London. And I lived in every corner of the city. And I still never get bored of London. It is a fabulous place. It was a strange city to be in the pandemic. It was eerily quiet, and it's so good that life has returned there. Definitely there's hybrid working. So I go into London once a week to the wellbeing centre that I work in, and I'm banging the city. So I'm near the Bank of England, in the, you know, where the financial quarter is, you could say, in Bank. It's a spot on the Red Line, the Circle Line, if any of you travelled the Underground in London. And it's really where a lot of the banks and financial companies are. It's near Liverpool Street, if any of you know that. It's where the Gherkin is, some of those fancy towers, constructions, artistic architecture, which yeah, it's quite interesting to see. So yeah, if you fancy a trip to London, let me know. Okay, I don't see any comments, so I am going to carry on my day. It is 9 minutes past 9. I wonder what all the nines mean. Any numerical experts in the house? It's 9 minutes past 9. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to wish you a beautiful day. Any comments, let me know. Any questions, let me know. And I will be back with you soon.